Hello and welcome to tonight's programme.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Here's what's coming up.
I was covered in bruises from punches, marks, grabbing.
Controlled, coerced, battered and raped. The woman waiving her anonymity to condemn a monster, Michael Ball, who's now serving 19 years behind bars.
The family of a couple who drowned in their flooded car blamed their council for not acting to make the road safe.
We miss Jota. The Premier League returns with champions Liverpool still mourning the striker they lost this summer.
Because I knew you. Because I knew you.
Local stars on a global stage. The young talent lighting up the new blockbuster Wicked for Good.
And there's certainly been some picture postcard scenes across the northwest the last couple of days or so. But what do we have in store for the weekend? The details will be coming up later.
So first tonight, he controlled pretty much everything in her life. What she wore, where she went and who she spoke to. He forced her to give up work. He repeatedly assaulted and raped her.
Yeah, but this week, Michael Ball from Lee started a 19-year jail sentence and was put on the sex offenders register for life. And tonight, the woman he subjected to that campaign of coercion and control is speaking out.
Well, Jasmine waived her right to anonymity to condemn Ball and describe her ordeal. She spoke to our correspondent Victoria Grimes, and we have to warn you, some of the content of her report is very distressing.
He seemed charming. At first, he really did. He seemed to fall in love very quickly, and then quickly that changed. The strangulation became daily. I was covered in bruises from punches, knocking me into things. It became the norm, really.
Jasmine was just 19 when she met Michael Ball. Within weeks, he was controlling every aspect of her life.
When was the time that you were most scared, Jasmine?
Being locked in a suitcase. He stuffed me and sat and zipped it up and put it inside a cupboard. And then he went out and forgot about me.
I mean, what was going through your head when he was stuffing you into a suitcase?
That I weren't coming out alive. That I'd get found in the suitcase dead. And I couldn't understand it. He was telling me he loved me, but he was stuffing me inside a suitcase.
But worse was to come.
There was one day I awoke to him raping me. And at first I didn't know that was rape. He'd made me believe that the control he had over me was normal.
I'm going to have to further arrest you on suspicion of rape.
Michael Ball was arrested in January 2021. It's taken since then for Jasmine to see justice. In September, he was found guilty of rape and controlling and coercive behaviour in a trial at Bolton Crown Court. He's now been sentenced to 19 years in prison and will stay on the sex offenders register for life.
How did you feel when he was convicted and sentenced for what he did to you?
Relieved. I cried my eyes out. I jumped up and down in the middle of the street. But I was crying because that was putting truth to my word. It was making me believe that I weren't insane.
Why have you waived your right to anonymity, to speak out now? Why did you want to do that?
Because I have had to hide and stay silent, and I wanted to save every other woman in the world from that man.
She is an advocate for all domestic abuse survivors, and I want to make it clear that any domestic abuse report to Greater Manchester Police or any police force will be taken seriously and you will be believed.
I do get emotional, but it's just because I'm proud of myself. I didn't think I'd be alive.
Jasmine's focus now is on bringing up her young son. She hopes one day to be able to work with other women facing violence and abuse. Victoria Grimes, ITV News.
Yeah, such incredible courage by Jasmine for first reporting on Michael Ball and then agreeing to speak to us about what she went through.
Well, next tonight, and a coroner's concluded Liverpool council officers failed to recognise the risk to life on a road where an elderly couple drowned in a flash flood.
Yeah, Philip Marco, who was 77, and his wife Elaine, who was 76, died after their car became trapped in floodwater on Queen's Drive in the city in August 2023.
Well, the inquest heard that a section of the road had been prone to flooding for decades. Their family have criticised Liverpool Council for not installing safety measures until after the couple's deaths.
Anna Yosef's here now. Anna.
Well, this is such a tragic case, and one which Philip and Elaine Marco's family believe could have been avoided. The couple, who were days away from their 54th wedding anniversary, had been on their way home that night following a family get-together. Mr Marco's believed to have driven in the water due to poor visibility caused by the heavy rain. The inquest heard how rainfall levels on that night were likened to those of a monsoon. Moments after hitting the water, their car engine had flooded and seized. Witnesses described Mr Marco trying to carry his wife out of danger before disappearing under the water. Today, Liverpool City Council said since the deaths, substantial work has been carried out at the site to mitigate the risk of future flooding. This included installing barriers, signage and early warning systems, including CCTV monitoring and warning sensors. But the Marco family say their grief has only deepened because they believe the authority hasn't accepted any responsibility for their parents' deaths. They've highlighted in the 3 months leading up to this tragedy, there'd been 4 previous flooding incidents on that same section of road. This is the family speaking after the inquest today.
Cars had already been stranded and emergency services had already been called out. And even before 2023, that location had a long history of repeated flooding. Despite all these warnings, the council failed to take the proactive and urgent steps needed to protect life.
Yes, some really strong words there from the family, and their criticism appears to have been supported by the coroner.
It does, Katie. The senior coroner, Andre Rebello, said that the City Council had failed to appreciate the risk of flooding under the bridge, despite those 4 previous events earlier that year. He also rejected claims by the council an independent investigation it ordered into the repeated flooding wasn't linked to risk to life fears, adding the delay in installing warning signs was a failure on their part. Recording a conclusion of misadventure, Mr Rebello said the deaths were in part caused by the absence of these signs and a failure to acknowledge risk by the council.
OK, Anna, many thanks.
Well, in other news today, and the former mayor of Liverpool, Joe Anderson, has pleaded not guilty to charges of bribery and misconduct. The 67-year-old seen here at a previous hearing appeared at Manchester Crown Court this morning, where he entered not guilty pleas to bribery, misconduct in a public office and conspiracy to commit misconduct in a public office. Mr Anderson is alleged to have sent or arranged to have sent threatening letters to himself. He is one of a number of people charged in connection with Merseyside Police's Operation Aloft. Well, next tonight, to the people living with disabilities who are being told, in effect, that they are not disabled enough.
Yeah, it's over the cutting back of a valuable non-emergency ambulance service which transports people in parts of Merseyside and Cheshire to hospital for appointments.
Well, the organisation which runs the ambulances, based in the West Midlands, say they've had to prioritise who qualifies for the service as the trust which hired them, based in the North West, isn't paying its bills. Tim Scott has more.
Joanne Roberts from the Wirral is completely blind. She's also had kidney and pancreas transplants. She attends Manchester Royal Infirmary, 60 miles away, every 3 months for essential monitoring of those transplants. She's been taken there by ambulance or taxis provided by WMAS, the West Midlands Ambulance Service, who are contracted by the ICB or Integrated Care Board at Cheshire and Merseyside NHS. But earlier this month, in a phone call, Joanne was told her transport was being stopped and she'd have to make it to hospital by herself.
I said, why? She says, well, the theory is if you can walk, whether assisted or on your own, you can make it to the hospital on your own.
Just how hard would it be for you to get to Manchester by yourself? Is it even doable?
It is impossible because I'm totally blind.
Yeah.
And to go out into the outside world just with the long cane, I can't do it because I can't tell where I am.
People like me, 88 years old, I've served my country, I'm in now lots of pain and I can't get help.
Pensioner Robin Crosby has numerous conditions, which means he needs 2 sticks to walk. He's also lost his transport and had to pay £40 out of his own pocket for a taxi to his last appointment.
I find, life's not easy for me anyway. I can't go out. I sit in this chair 24 hours a day. I actually sleep in this chair because I can't sleep in a bed because of my back. So yeah, it just makes you despair, really.
Wirral MP Justin Madders is appalled at the situation and wants answers from the ICB.
All we know is that people who were previously relying on patient ambulance services are being told that they're no longer eligible. That means that they're missing appointments. The ICB don't seem to be wanting to address the issue. In fact, I think it feels like they're pretending it isn't happening, but it is happening and it needs addressing now.
A spokesperson for NHS Cheshire and Merseyside said, "We are in ongoing discussions with West Midlands Ambulance Service and continue to fund the service in line with the existing core contract. We are seeking and expect assurances that all eligible patients continue to be transported in line with the National Eligibility Framework." But that doesn't appear to address the needs of patients like Joanne and Robin, who it seems will still be without the transport they desperately need to get them to hospital. Tim Scott, ITV News.
Well, Tim's here with us now. Tim, in your report, we heard there from NHS Cheshire and Merseyside. What about the West Midlands Ambulance Service, who actually run the ambulances? What have they had to say?
Yes, well, I got onto them and they've given us a statement. They didn't have anybody to speak to us in person today, but what they did say in their statement is, due to the ICB refusing to pay the full cost of providing the step-in provision of the patient transport services contract in Cheshire, the Trust has had to tighten the criteria by which patients are being accepted so that the costs don't overrun. This was done in agreement with the ICB from the 1st of November. This mirrors the national PTS criteria, which prioritises renal and oncology as the most critical cases. The Trust has been in discussion with the ICB for many months, trying to find a solution to the situation, but unfortunately this has so far not been possible. Discussions are continuing on an almost daily basis. So it appears, according to the West Midlands Ambulance Service, the ICB have simply not been paying as part of the contract that they should have been paying. I put these points to Merseyside and Cheshire ICB. They told me, all they would tell me, is that there is help out there for patients who are struggling. But other than that, they stuck to their statement. And they didn't really address this issue of them supposedly not paying what they should be to West Midlands Ambulance Service for transporting people. And it means, for now, it seems that for now, people like Robin and Joanne, who you saw in my report, they're left in the middle of this. They are going to struggle now to get to their hospital appointments while this almighty row, breakdown in trust or breakdown in communication between West Midlands Ambulance and the ICB is getting sorted out. You heard Justin Madders in the report as well. He's very angry, and he's one of many people who are angry at this situation, which seems, for now, no resolution in sight.
Yeah, it's a story I'm sure you'll be keeping a close eye on, Tim. Many thanks.
OK, time now for a look at what's to come on the national news up next. Here's Lucrezia with the details.
Coming up on the ITV Evening News, energy bills head in the wrong direction again as the regulator raises the price cap. Reform UK's former leader in Wales is sentenced to 10 years in prison for taking Russian bribes. And a 5-wicket fight back in Australia will bring you the best moments from a thrilling opening day at the Ashes. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Come on, England.
Well, next tonight, we're going to a city where there is no end of talent.
Yeah, the Beatles, of course, were known worldwide, but now a museum which was dedicated to the Fab Four has opened a new permanent exhibition celebrating scores of the city's other famous acts, writers and sporting heroes.
Well, our Merseyside correspondent, Andy Bonner, has been taking a little look behind the scenes.
Under lock and key in an ordinary Liverpool office, there's been an extraordinary treasure trove.
So these are just some of the things that we've got ready to put out for Liverpool legends. We've got John Bishop, Les Dennis, the Mighty War, Tony Bellew, dress from Scylla there.
Stacked onto desks, leaning against walls, these are the keepsakes and curiosities of some of the city's most famous sons and daughters.
Name that comedian. Yeah.
I think that might be
Sure,
Sam Bourne.
we know who that is.
How does it feel to be a museum piece, Stan?
There's so much talent here, and I'm made up. The only trick is, he stuck me in this little corner, right? which nobody will come round with 2 pairs of shoes.
Do you think there is something special in the water?
When I first came down here to Matthew Street, there was only the cavern.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Comedians.
Johnny Ham did the Comedians at Granada. He made us all famous. Liverpool is the funniest place in the world for comedy, for talent, and long may it live.
I always describe my time in Frankie as going to a party in 1983 and coming home in 1987, and that's what...
In a past life, Nasher was the guitarist for Frankie Goes to Hollywood. He too has learned some things that are close to him.
This suit, when I joined Frankie, we were starting to do some TV shows, and I needed to have a suit. And 2 years before, I'd seen Robert Palmer at the Royal Court wearing one of these, but in powder blue, and I just thought he looked amazing. The first time I wore it on TV really was when we did New Brighton Rocks in the old swimming pool. That was a really magic time because it was the first time we were exposed to the mania.
Last night, 45 stars from Peter Serafinowicz and Kathy Tyson to Craig Charles and Ricky Tomlinson became the first to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Scriptwriters, actors, comedians and sports heroes together for a unique event celebrating this pool of talent.
Do I believe there's something in the water? Well, something in the water, something in the ley lines. There's something going on in this city.
This then is a celebration across the decades, with memories almost as old as Stan's jokes.
I said to the commissioner, how old is this dinosaur? He said, it's 3 million years old and 4 weeks. I said, how could you be so precise? He said, well, when I come here, it was 4 million years old, and I've been here 4 weeks.
Dear.
Stan Bourbon, use a 10, Liverpool.
Very good. Very
Sounds
good.
like one of your jokes. You'll be using that, won't you, this weekend? Right, on to sport now. And after Andy Robertson's emotional comments midweek, his manager has joined him in saying that Liverpool is still hurting from the loss of Diogo Jota. This comes after Andy Robertson admitted he'd been in bits over his late teammate ahead of Scotland's World Cup qualification.
Yeah, Diogo Jota and his brother died in a car crash in the summer, and while Slot pointed out the personal loss felt by the club, he says they're missing him on the pitch too. Liverpool are 8 points off the pace in the Premier League, heading into tomorrow's game with Nottingham Forest.
Last season we were 1-0 down at Forest. It only took him 1 minute to score the equaliser. We haven't managed to come back as many times as last season after being 1-0 down or a goal down. And we missed the player and the person. That is completely clear. But again, his wife and children will miss him so much more.
Well, tomorrow also sees Manchester City head to Newcastle, and the message from Pep Guardiola is simple. The season starts now. With only one defeat in nearly 3 months, City return from the international break second in the table and just 4 points behind leaders Arsenal.
Now start the season really, right? So there is 2 parts of the season. Is when the transfer window is over in summer, and after when international break is over. And now international break is done. So now we'll be until March. See each other every 3 days, 4 days, 3 days, 4 days games. So Now the real season starts now. And the important is to be there, to be close there. Winning tomorrow will be an important step for us.
Now it's one of the oldest rivalries in football. You have to go back 6 years for the last time Preston beat Blackburn at Deepdale. But tonight, North End will be favourites, sitting fourth in the Championship, while Blackburn are fighting at the wrong end of the table.
David Chisnell has been hearing from both clubs.
Back with a bang after the international break, there's a Lancashire derby to fire up a freezing November night. A sellout at Deepdale awaits Preston North End and Blackburn Rovers as the two neighbours do battle for much more than just points.
Probably one of the biggest games of the season. We all look forward to it. It's just a rivalry that goes back years, but yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be busy. It's going to be great atmosphere, and we're doing well.
Oh, it's huge, isn't it? Well, it's going to make or break the season, I think. So it's something we have to win.
Massive for the family, definitely. They'll be here for the win.
Only Lancashire derby we've got this season, really. So got to impress. Got to do them in their own backyard. Get one over them like we always do.
We're going for promotion and they're going for relegation, so let's go up and let them go down. That'd be the biggest thing. Also just local pride, people work at BAE Systems and stuff like that, want some bragging rights.
Dad works in Preston, so he's got a lot of Preston mates.
And I bet he would like to go in on Monday and kind of have the upper hand.
Yeah, of course, I think that's the main thing for him, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, after just avoiding relegation last season, Preston are now on the up. And a win tonight could see them go second in the Championship.
We want to get the fans going. We want the fans to be really pleased and engage with what they're seeing. But likewise, we need the fans to help us and help us get over the line. And they've done that, and that's been at home and away. And obviously, the more voices you've got, the more people you've got in the stadium, the better it is.
When you look at that table, it must make nice reading for you. It must make nice looking at.
Yeah, I can't say I look at it too much. I mean, don't know about other people, but it's, listen, like you said, 15 games in. We're up in a nice position, but a whole lot of football left. Even after coming off last season, I think there still was a feeling in the group where we should be nowhere near there. We should be up at this kind of end of the table.
Blackburn currently sit 19th, and this will be a first taste of a Lancashire derby for their head coach. Valerian Ismail is well prepared for Deepdale, though, having been in charge at Turkish club Besiktas against fiery rivals Fenerbahce. I would imagine then, with your experience in Turkey, you're well equipped for this.
Yeah, but this is why we love football, to see full stadium, to see fans supporting the team, to see the intensity, the energy, and I think this is something can set some energy free for the players, and this is what we expected, so I'm looking forward for the game.
Well, former Arsenal Academy graduate Ryan Alebiosu is another new face new to the derby. After spells in Scotland and Belgium, the Londoner is settling into life in Blackburn.
Yeah, no, it's obviously different, you know. It's obviously like villages and stuff, but like something to get used to. But no, it's quite peaceful. It's nice. This is an important game, a big game for us. So we all want to give our all, and obviously I'm raring to go.
Well, while it's a first for some for these two founding members of the Football League, tonight continues a rivalry that dates back 140 years. David Chisnell, ITV News.
Getting that winning feeling. FOW, sponsor of the Granada Sport Report.
Now, if the freezing temperatures are putting you off your outdoor exercise, how about heading out for a run in the Namibian desert? Well, Manchester runner Alex Welch has done just that.
Yeah, today he has smashed the course record at the Desert Ultra Marathon. He has run 250 kilometres over 5 days, carrying all his essential supplies in temperatures ranging from 5 degrees Celsius to 55 degrees. He has completed the course in 44 hours and 16 minutes, beating the previous record by 40 minutes. Congrats to him.
That's just unbelievable.
Incredible
isn't it? I hope
stuff.
he's putting his feet up this weekend. Now to possibly one of the most anticipated sequels in recent film history. When Wicked was released last year, it broke box office records, and now the wait is over as Wicked for Good is in cinemas tonight, and it's starring honorary Mancunian Ariana Grande and also Cynthia Erivo.
Yeah, and not one, not two, but 3 children from our region have been lucky enough to bag themselves parts in this global sensation. We've met them before, but our entertainment correspondent, Caroline Whitmore, headed to Ashton to catch up with them again.
Because I knew you, I have been changed.
My name is Hattie Ryan
Ryan. I play Munchkin in Wicked for Good. Hi, my name is Carter J. Murphy and I play a party child.
Think of what we could do together.
You two star in possibly the biggest film of the year.
I am so proud of Carter and hopefully Carter's so proud of me. I can't believe that we've got to this point of being in a big starring film with big starring people. Yeah. It's been amazing. I'm really proud of Hattie for doing this amazing film. It's the biggest film of 2025. Literally a dream come true.
Because you were in the first film as well, weren't you?
So, I'm a munchkin, the ginger, first of all. My mum came up to me and she made this slide thing. My iPad died halfway through it.
Oh no, not the iPad dying.
Then my mum just told me and I started crying my eyes out. When I went to 13 going on 30, the characters recognised me for being in Wicked.
You starred as the young Robbie Williams in Better Man. This is your second film, and you're just 11.
All my friends have been like, yo, you're in Wicked? And I'm like, yeah, and they were like, that's sick, that, you know, and I'm like, yeah.
And I do get confused with the story of Wicked, because it's all before The Wizard of Oz, isn't it?
Yeah. They're basically like a yellow brick road, and they're building it, and Cynthia, well, Elphaba, is like trying to see the wizard, basically.
Wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Hello, my name is Charisma Sangale, and I play young Elphaba. I'm very excited, and I'm also very happy for my friends Hattie and Carter.
Lauren, you're Caris's agent.
I went to New York with Caris this time. I was lucky enough to be invited to the premiere as well. Everyone in America doesn't realise that Manchester and London aren't the same place. The 3 children in the Northwest for lightning to strike, like not once, not twice, but 3 times. It's just been an unreal experience for all of them.
How did you find the New York premiere?
It was incredible.
You're busy mates with Cynthia Erivo. What does she say to you when you meet up with her?
She's really lovely, and usually it's always, my baby.
Were we going to do a little song in honour of Wicked for Good out in cinemas tonight?
Defying gravity, with you and I, defying gravity, you can't bring us down. Yeah! Because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
Yes!
For good.
And you'll be glad to know that just like Hattie and Carter was singing like that, that's exactly what Katie and I like in the newsroom in the afternoons.
Except not as cheerful.
Here's Joe.
Mum, wet wipes, toilet or bin?
Bin. Why?
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Thank you. Good evening. Well, the first cold snap of the season seems to be wrapping up for the time being. Our coldest night of the season so far recorded -6.7 here in the northwest last night. In general, feeling less cold over the next few days, with spells of rain to come, some more unsettled weather ahead into the new week. Bit of sunshine to look forward to though, probably the best of which will be tomorrow of the 2 weekend days. A front moves through overnight tonight, introducing slightly less cold air across the UK as we head through the rest of the weekend into the beginning of next week. Still chilly at times and potentially a touch of frost over the next few nights, but for the most part it isn't going to feel quite as cold, with no snow in the forecast. Back to this evening's details. Starting dry, winds increase in strength and a band of rain will be moving in from the west by midnight. A few heavy bursts for the Cumbrian Fells, perhaps the Lancashire coast before dawn. A damp end to the night, but temperatures will lift, hovering around freezing at first, but rising as the cloud and rain makes an appearance before dawn. On to tomorrow, the sun is up at 7:50 and sets at 4:03 tomorrow afternoon. If you're up very early tomorrow, it'll be a little bit grey and damp, but quite quickly that rain sweeps through and skies will in fact brighten here in the northwest. Any low cloud in the Pennines and the Peak District should tend to dissipate by the end of the day. A few showers perhaps developing here and there through the afternoon, but lots of dry weather too, bright or sunny spells and noticeably less cold than the last couple of days. Looking ahead, Sunday there'll be some showery rain and into the new week temperatures are up just a touch.
Cleaned up well.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Thanks, Joe, and that's all we've got time for on tonight's Granada Report.
We shall see you next week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.